Welcome to Looking Within, a podcast for the spiritual explorer in each of us. I'm Julie. I love to explore the inner life using contemplative practices, and I love to help others to do the same. In our time together, I hope you gain a sense of hope, meaning, joy, and love. As a Christian spiritual explorer, I hope to offer some thoughts to help you see God's presence and activity in ever-expanding ways. As you listen, ponder, and experience the divine, feel free to use the spiritual perspective you are most comfortable with in our practice today. Now, let's begin. Welcome to your Looking Within Wednesday bonus episode. This is a follow-on to our conversation this week about the brokenness in our lives, about the suffering and pain most often seen in the brokenness of our hearts, found within broken relationships, isolation from or rejection by others, and loneliness. Perhaps your brokenness has been evident in physical or mental health challenges, or the lack of basic human needs. Though we may at times be blind to our brokenness, perhaps not being comfortable to name something in our lives that causes us to struggle, I suspect that most people could readily identify multiple periods of time in their life that included some type of suffering or brokenness. Perhaps you're going through one of those times right now. It comes with being human, though it's uniquely experienced by each of us. And when we look back over our lives with perspective and insight, we see our struggles as having given us strength and a kind of beauty and pricelessness to our journey. As a quote by Tracy Miles says, "God has a plan for purpose and beauty in your life, not despite your past, but because of it." As we continue to ponder brokenness today, doing that in light of Henry Nouwen's thoughts about this being part of becoming a beloved child of God, I'd like to share a contemplative prayer practice called the Welcoming Prayer. Originally written in the 1980s by Mary Mrozowski, a founder of Contemplative Outreach, the Welcoming Prayer focuses on welcoming our thoughts, our emotions, our desires, our uncertainties, and our fears. The Welcoming Prayer considers each feeling, thought, situation, or person that comes to mind as something not to be repressed, but rather brought into the light by naming, welcoming, and then releasing it to God. As described in an article by Lacey Clark Ellman, the Welcoming Prayer, quote, helps to facilitate the dismantling of the false self and the healing of lifelong wounds, all in the presence of the divine. The false self, formed by our woundedness and fears, would prefer to hide behind a mask of its own making and bury any negative or uncomfortable thoughts or emotions so that they cannot be felt or seen. However, the truth is that such feelings carry in them clues for our healing, and like a beach ball in the water, when pushed down, will only rise up with greater force. Instead, through naming and welcoming these emotions, accepting their presence, and opening ourselves up to the insight they have to give, the healing process can begin, and the true self can be revealed. End quote. A good share of our inner suffering is a result of the firm hold that our false or ego self has on our life. Through intimacy and quiet time with God, we can continue the process of learning how to disengage ourselves from continually spinning in our thoughts, emotions, desires, uncertainties, and fears, and instead find the quiet and peace of the love and presence of God and God's action within us. The Welcoming Prayer can be practiced throughout the day as emotions arise, or at the end of the day as a way to see what is past and what still lingers in your heart and mind before resting for the night. Many have found this prayer to be life-changing, deepening their relationship with God by inviting the divine into every corner of their lives. I'd invite you to gently close your eyes now. The steps of the prayer are this simple and this hard. First, we'll focus and sink in. Here you fully acknowledge the presence of thoughts and emotions and sink into their feeling in your body. Second, we'll welcome first God's presence and then each thought or emotion in turn. And finally, we'll let go. We'll give our fears, our situation, our inner suffering to God. With your eyes still closed, I'll share the welcoming prayer now with adaptations by Father Thomas Keating. Silently repeat each sentence or word after you hear me say it, and then let the prayer lead you into the quiet. I welcome everything that comes to me today, because I know it's for my healing. I welcome all thoughts, feelings, emotions, persons, situations, and conditions. I let go of my desire for security and survival. I let go of my desire for esteem and affection. I let go of my desire for power and control. I let go of my desire to change the situation or any person, including myself. I open to the love and presence of God and God's action within. So now ponder these words, surrender your situation, and breathe a deep breath of release. I'll be back with you in about 3 minutes. As we end our meditation, take a few deep breaths in and out. In and out. You are the beloved, the chosen one of God, blessed, broken, and given to the world around you. I'll sound the Tibetan singing bowl, and when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes, remaining still for a moment longer. Thanks for joining me for this bonus episode of Looking Within. I hope you'll join me again on Friday as we conclude the week together. Use the welcoming prayer during your times of struggle and brokenness. Use it to release something from your past that has traveled with you over the years. Give these parts of your life to God. Let them go. And having done that, just be open to God's love and presence inside of you. Rest in that. Let it break a negative pattern or emotion as it's happening, or find the peace of releasing something that has kept a tight and life-draining hold on you over the years. Thank you for making time for your inner self today. Whatever you've discovered and experienced, carry that with you in the coming days. You can find more episodes at our website, Gloria-Day, that's DEI.com/lookingwithinpodcast, or subscribe through your favorite podcast app. We'll see you next time.